This is really the first big sneaker release of 2023, but does it live up to the hype? Let's find out. What's up everybody, I'm Seth Fowler, and today I'm reviewing the upcoming Air Jordan 1 True Blue. But before we dive into the video and talk about this pretty heavily anticipated release, I want to tell you guys about a very heavily anticipated release that I'm actually giving away. So this, as you probably already know, is the Air Jordan 3 White Cement Reimagined, a shoe that drops in March of this year, and a shoe that I've actually done a full review on. I've teamed up with my sock brand APTHCRY to give away a brand new pair of these sneakers in your size to one of you guys. So entering this giveaway is really easy. All you need to do is subscribe to the APTHCRY vlog channel by clicking the link in the top of the description below, which gives you your main entry, and then if you want additional entries, you can be entered by just grabbing something on the APTHCRY website. Seriously, this vlog channel has been a blast to make. I'm really enjoying making different kinds of content for you guys, so if you guys want to check that out and watch something other than sneaker reviews or design videos or stuff like that, make sure to check out that link in the top of the description below. But getting back into the shoes, these are the Air Jordan 1 True Blues, and they officially released this Saturday, January 14th for a retail price of 180 bucks. And actually, if you guys want to grab these for yourself right now through this video, you can use the YouTube shopping tab, which on desktop is just below the video and on your phone is somewhere on the screen. But I've got to say that 180 bucks seems like a lot for a pair of Jordan 1s, and I know that Jordan brand is slowly raising the price of their sneakers to, I guess, go with inflation, or maybe that's just what they do over time because they can. Either way, 180 bucks is a lot for a pair of Jordan 1s. I think, shoot, it's almost 10 years ago now. Well, back in 2016, Jordan 1s were selling for like 160 bucks, and I guess 7 years later, they've gone up by $20 per pair for a standard pair, which is nuts to me. But hey, I don't know, it seems like Jordan brand and any other brand that's raising their prices can get away with it. The only way to stop people from raising their prices is by voting with your wallet and not buying the thing. That being said, I guess it's not a huge price increase, and from last year it's only really a $10 price increase, but still, for a standard pair of Jordan 1s, it seems like a lot. The good news is though, if you want a pair of these, you probably won't have a hard time finding these for retail. In fact, the Air Jordan 1s have kind of been slowly declining in popularity, and this colorway, while pretty clean, is not going to be the most hyped up colorway of the year, and so because of that, you should be able to buy these maybe a day or two or even a week after release at your local sneaker stores. So keep that in mind. You probably don't have to pay resale for this pair. But hey, with all that being said, before we actually dive into the sneaker itself, let's first take a look at the box. Oh, maybe this is why they raised the price by 10 bucks, because it's a blue box. So the Air Jordan 1 True Blue actually comes in this new blue box, which I've got to say, I actually really dig. Now, the design of the box is not any different than standard Air Jordan 1s. The logo placement is the same. However, instead of having red logos and the box being almost entirely black, the box comes in blue and the logos come in white. And actually, I don't know if you caught my review for the Union LA Air Jordan 1 Low KOs, but it seems like they're using a white size tag for this box. It's not the same size tag that they used for the Union LA KOs, but it is slightly different than some of the older Air Jordan 1 size tags. However, it seems to be the same one that they've been using on the recent releases. Either way, I grabbed a size 9, which is my true size, and the official colorway of this shoe is True Blue White Cement Gray. And actually, speaking of that and getting back into the sneaker itself, this shoe is inspired by the Air Jordan 3 True Blue. In fact, this year, for the 35th anniversary of the Air Jordan 3, Jordan brand is taking some of the Air Jordan 3's most popular colorways and putting them on other silhouettes. And obviously, as the name would suggest, this is the True Blue inspired Air Jordan 1. Now, although Jordan brand says this shoe is inspired by the Air Jordan 3 True Blues, and I wouldn't be surprised if that was actually the case, this shoe is a little bit different than that shoe, and you'd think for a shoe that's inspired by one of the most iconic Air Jordan 3s of all time, there would be a couple more details from that shoe on this shoe. Like, for example, red. There's a lot of red on the True Blue 3s, or a decent amount of red, and there is not one little drop of red on this entire sneaker. It's all white, gray, and blue. Not only that, the shoe also doesn't feature elephant print anywhere, which is a signature detail of the Air Jordan 3s. Of course, they added gray on the shoe, which, you know, is usually what the color of the elephant print is. However, there isn't any elephant print details, and while I'm not the biggest fan of elephant print on non-Jordan 3s, I don't think it would have hurt this silhouette. I mean, I guess we're getting the entirely elephant printed out Air Jordan 1s, which I'm not gonna lie, I don't love that shoe, but maybe some hint of elephant print somewhere on the shoe might have tied this shoe more into the story of the True Blue 3s. Again, I don't know if I would have loved the way that it looked aesthetically, but it would have fit the story of the True Blue Air Jordan 1s a little bit better. I don't know why I'm making such a big deal out of it, because again, I think this is a great looking shoe, and I feel like if they had added elephant print, maybe it would have ruined it. I don't know. It just doesn't click for me. But unfortunately, that's not the only problem I have with this shoe. And let me just preface this by saying, I think this is a great looking shoe. I think it's a very clean colorway. I think the designers at Jordan Brand know how to make really solid Air Jordan 1 colorways that are new colorways on an old silhouette. However, there were some things said on the sneakers app about this shoe and the description about this shoe that just don't make sense to me. And the other thing, besides the fact that this shoe was inspired by the True Blue 3s, is that this shoe apparently is the same cut as the Air Jordan 1 85s. However, it's not an Air Jordan 1 85. So here's a pair of Air Jordan 1 85s, a shoe designed to look exactly like the original 1985 Air Jordan 1s. Now, as you can see, the shape of this shoe is different than this Air Jordan 1, which apparently is cut to the same exact spec. The heel of the shoe is a little bit straighter on this shoe. The actual shape of some of the panels is a little bit different, and the midsole tooling is completely different. Plus, the leather used on this shoe feels like decent quality leather. This is just kind of your standard Jordan Brand leather, nothing special. And again, we're paying $180 for this shoe. Granted, this shoe was like $200, but still, $180 is a lot. But hey, again, I don't think this is a bad shoe. I think this is a solid colorway, a new colorway on my favorite silhouette of all time. I just wish the description of this shoe on the sneakers app had been more honest. But with all of that aside, let's dive into the Air Jordan 1 True Blues and check out the materials that make up this sneaker. So starting off on the toe of the sneaker, on the mudguard of the shoe, you've got this True Blue leather panel, and the True Blue actually goes all the way up the eye stay of the sneaker. In the center of the toe, you've got this white perforated leather, which again, is nothing special. It's your standard Air Jordan 1 leather, but it's also not bad. And then as you move up on the shoe, you get to those True Blue eye stays that I just mentioned, and weaving through those eye stays, you've got these blue flat laces. Now, Jordan Brand does provide you with a set of white laces if you decide to switch them out. They come in this really nice sort of cardboard package. It seems like Jordan Brand has been doing that a bit more recently. They still use the plastic a lot, but the cardboard is pretty nice. Personally, I think these blue laces are the move for me. I just love the way that they, I hate doing this, but literally tie the colors on the upper of the shoe together. I think it's a very clean look. And I found that when it comes to Jordan 1s, I usually prefer when the color of the laces match the color of the eye stay. So if the eye stay is black, like on something like the Black Toes, I like the laces being black. On the Chicagos, because that shoe is such a classic silhouette, you kind of have to go with, you don't have to, but I like going with black laces. On the Bred ones, I love the black laces, so that's usually the way that I go. But overall, I think this is a very clean look, and if I keep these shoes, which I'm not sure if I will, I think I'll be sticking with the blue laces. Then underneath the laces, you get to this white nylon tongue, and at the top of the tongue, you've got your Nike Air logo right there, embroidered in white on this blue tag. Moving inside the sneaker, you've got this True Blue fabric sock liner, and rounding off the inside of the shoe, you've got this nicely padded insole that comes in white with the Nike Air branding printed on the heel in blue. Now, as you probably could have guessed, these shoes fit pretty much just like every other pair of Air Jordan 1s. For me, that's true to size, but for you, it might be something different. So if you want to grab a pair of the True Blue Air Jordan 1s, you should be able to walk into your local sneaker store either on the day of release or hopefully a day or two after release and try these shoes on first before you buy them, because again, $180 is not cheap. Continuing back in the shoe, you get to some white leather on the midfoot panel of the sneaker, and of course, your True Blue colored Nike swoosh. Then moving even farther back in the shoe, you get to this medium gray colored nubuck, which feels very similar to the nubuck used on the 3s. In fact, if you look at the white cement 3s, the nubuck looks almost exactly the same except without elephant print. So, okay, maybe that is a point towards them designing this shoe to literally be the True Blue 3s. I don't know, I'm torn. I don't know whether they just came up with this colorway and decided to make it the True Blue 3s after the fact, or whether they literally designed this shoe as a True Blue Air Jordan 1. I don't know. Either way, it's a clean colorway. I should stop hating on it. And then rounding off the upper of the shoe, you've got the Wings logo in True Blue embossed into the side of the shoe. And that's a detail which I guess was taken from the 1985 Jordan 1s. As you can see on these Jordan 1 85s, the Wings logo is also embossed. On most recent Air Jordan 1s, it's debossed instead, which means it goes into the material. So because of that, I guess that they can say that there's some parts of the shoe that were taken from the 1985 version. That's baffling to me. I don't know why exactly they would say that. It kind of messes with their marketing that they've been drilling into our heads for the last year with these new 1985 versions of the shoe. I'm not exactly sure what's going on with that, but either way, I guess I don't mind it. It's just a detail, and I kind of do like this embossed look. It gives the shoe a little bit more texture. Then moving down on the shoe, you get to this bright white midsole, and rounding off the look, you get to this medium gray rubber outsole. So overall, is the Air Jordan 1 True Blue a shoe that's worth picking up? If you like the colorway, if you don't mind the price point, it's definitely a solid pickup. It's very easy to rock. It's a pretty neutral look, and it's one that I think is pretty easy to match with a lot of different outfits. So if you're looking for a solid Air Jordan 1 colorway without paying resale for a pair of Jordan 1s, this is a great way to go. However, if you don't love the colorway and you don't really care about the story behind this colorway, then I think you can miss this one. It's not that crazy of a release. I think you'll be able to buy these down the road for pretty much retail, most likely. So I don't think you're gonna be missing out on anything if you decide to let these sit. In my opinion, it's a solid colorway. It's very clean. It's very easy to rock. I love Jordan 1s, but it's just not something that I feel like I personally need to add to my sneaker closet. But hey, at this point, I would love to know your thoughts on the upcoming True Blue 1s and whether you plan on grabbing a pair of these for yourself when they finally drop, or whether you just don't care. So make sure to let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. And as always, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.